DDPY, Positively Unstoppable, The Art of Owning It. Forward. When thinking about what to write for this forward, I imagined a younger version of myself, 25 years younger, having a conversation with a ghost about the likelihood of this book being published and my small contribution to it. It's an imaginary conversation that went something like this. Mick, 25 years from now, you're going to write a foreword for a book about a legendary wrestler, a man whose inspiring excellence has earned him a place in the WWE Hall of Fame. Okay, let me digest this, I said to the ghost. First things first, what the heck is the WWE? Well, those are the initials for the World Wrestling Entertainment, formerly known as the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. There was a lawsuit involving pandas, and it did not work out well. Trust me, the new name caught on. The company went on to even greater heights after they got the F out of there. Okay, I'll buy that, I said. And you're telling me they even have their own Hall of Fame? And that this guy you want me to write about was so great that he's in there? Correct, the ghost replied. Well, even if all this is true, 25 years from now, I'll be like over 50. No one's going to care what I have to say. You'd be surprised. At that point in the conversation, I was told, cool, let's do it. I told the ghost, if you're telling me that I'll still be relevant enough 25 years from now, that people will want to read what I have to say about a great superstar in the WWE Hall of Fame, then I'm all for it. I guess I just need to know who this legendary wrestler is, and I'll get right to it. At that point, I took a swig of some imaginary beverage, just waiting for the answer from the ghost of wrestling yet to come. Diamond Dallas Page. At that point, you know that beverage is going everywhere. You know that 25 years ago, the idea of Diamond Dallas Page being inducted into the Hall of Fame in front of 15,000 fans had to result in the ultimate spit take. Because back in 1992, when Diamond Dallas Page turned pro at the tender age of 35, there was simply no way the career, the post-wrestling resurgence, this book was supposed to happen. Guys don't start out at age 35 in professional wrestling. They retire. They don't videotape their matches or wrap their knees in plastic wrap to lubricate their joints, either. Up to a certain point, DDP was nothing more than a well-liked, well-intentioned curiosity in our business. At the time, I was tag teaming with Abdullah the Butcher, a guy who had drawn money all over the world. One night, Paige walked by and Abdullah turned to me. He's going to get over, champ, he said. Paige? I asked in disbelief. Trust me, no one was predicting success for DDP at the time, and such an assessment from a guy like Abdullah seemed to fly in the face of not only conventional belief, but rational thought as well. He lives the gimmick, champ, Abdullah said. He lives the gimmick. Abdullah the Butcher may have been the first wrestling legend outside of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, to believe in DDP. But at a time when so few believed in him, Diamond Dallas believed in himself. He possessed a ridiculous positivity that allowed him to rise above the bad storylines he was involved in, the bad intentions of some of his opponents, and the bad attitudes projected toward him by some of those he worked for. He simply never stopped believing, and that unwavering positivity became his trademark, allowing him to not only become a great wrestler in the ring, but also, more importantly, a great person outside of it. That insane positivity followed him from the ring into everything he did, in every life he touched. He was positive that DDP Yoga could improve and change lives. And when most of us wrestlers made fun of him for doing it, he believed in friends like Scott Hall and Jake the Snake Roberts, even when they'd been written off as lost to addiction by almost everyone else. He cared so much about his friends that he even invited Scott and Jake to live with him, brought them into the accountability crib, and proceeded to show them and the world that no one is ever too far gone to own his own life. I remember him following me out of my car after a fun night of catching up, embellishing our old war stories at his house. I was tipping the scales at close to 340 pounds at the time, really having trouble getting around. Bro, you know I don't want to hassle you, he said, but you know I'm here for you whenever you're ready. Months later, I finally opened up one of those DDP Yoga DVDs and thought, what the heck, I'll give them a try. A year later, I tipped the scales at 238. DDP Yoga and Dallas's darn positivity had been major factors in turning my health around, letting me know that it was not too late to own it. Diamond Dallas Page believed in me long after I stopped believing in myself, and I'm pretty certain he believes in you too. Read this book and find out why. Mick Foley. Mick Foley wrote this forward. I was 309 when I started. Probably more because that was the last time I got on the scale. I'm currently sitting at 200. That's 110 pounds. DDPY works, if you do. That's the end of chapter 1, or the forward for today. Tomorrow we'll read the introduction.